We all love single-player experiences, and we are certainly seeing a massive surge of these in 2025. So far, we have seen countless single-player games coming to both Xbox consoles as well as Xbox Game Pass, with games like South of Midnight, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Today though, I'll be covering the 18 new single-player games coming to both Xbox and Game Pass in 2025, so make sure to keep an eye out for that Game Pass icon so you know which ones are hitting the service. So with that, my name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into the single player games coming our way. A massive game that I wanted to start out with today is Mafia The Old Country, as we just saw some brand new gameplay drop as of this week. Just like 2020's Mafia Definitive Edition remake, The Old Country is sporting some lovely visuals, this time placed in a more old school rural setting. The remake's satisfying combat mechanics also seem to have made their way over, with some 2025 enhancements of course. Driving is also back as well, a staple of the Mafia franchise, alongside what appears to be plenty of traversal on good old horseback, which will prove something of a different vibe than the more modern Mafia setting that we've seen in recent times. Something else that's slightly different as well is that the team is opting for a more linear experience this time around, and one that's only priced at just $50. I do love that we're seeing more 10 to 20 hour linear story experiences that are priced exactly like this, but if you're interested, Mafia The Old Country releases soon this August. Borderlands 4 is coming to Xbox this September, and it looks way bigger, wilder, and more chaotic than ever before. Gearbox is once again delivering us with brand new Vault Hunters, an insane arsenal of loot, and tons more in this newest entry. The game is set on a brand new planet this time though, called Kairos, and of course we'll see a ton of new and also returning characters, some dangerous enemies, and some of the best content that we've ever seen. We saw more about this game in a recent showcase, and the additions to traversal along with the weapon modifications and varieties looks utterly insane. To be honest, if you love Borderlands games, you will no doubt love this newest entry. The game has also been brought forward as well, as the team are ahead of their schedule and will now be releasing on the 12th of September. I can't wait for this brand new and expanded Borderlands, and I'm eagerly anticipating that great new story. The beloved Metal Gear Solid 3 is reborn as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is a faithful remake of the 2004 classic. This new modernized version though will enhance the original with stunning visuals, updated controls, and a brand new engine, while still keeping that iconic story and gameplay intact. This one though, if you're unfamiliar, is set during the Cold War, and you'll be stepping into the boots of Naked Snake, sent on a high-stakes mission to rescue a scientist and eliminate a major threat. Of course, the stealth mechanics here do remain central to the overall experience, with camouflage, environmental interactions, and survival elements adding so much depth to the gameplay. The story here is also very deeply personal, focusing on Snake's relationship with his mentor, the boss, and the moral complexities of loyalty and betrayal. For longtime fans and newcomers alike, MGS Delta offers a chance to experience one of the greatest stealth games of all time, with those extra cutting-edge enhancements. Obsidian Entertainment is back with us this time with The Outer Worlds 2, the sequel to their critically acclaimed spacefaring RPG. If you love the first game's chaotic blend of corporate satire, quirky characters, and open-ended exploration, then you can get ready because this sequel takes everything up to 11. Your goal though in this new entry is to essentially solve the mystery behind a deadly threat that can destroy humanity, while still resolving a violent civil war between various factions in a new colony known as Arcadia. The gameplay of course will involve heavy exploration of Arcadia's world, conversing with its characters with multiple dialogue choices that can obviously shape the course of the story, alongside first-person combat involving gunplay, melee weapons, and unique abilities. There also seems to be a deeper character creation system, which to be honest I'm totally falling in love with. It has the signature humour of the Outer Worlds we come to expect, and this one for me is a highly anticipated release for this year. I think it's quite easy to say that Ninja Gaiden 4 was one of the biggest surprises that came out of the Xbox Developer Direct back in January. With Platinum Games, Team Ninja, and Xbox teaming up once again, this fourth installment in the beloved franchise is looking better than ever before, and honestly, I can't wait to get my hands on it. I know so many of you have been waiting for a brand new Ninja Gaiden game for years at this point, and it also will be arriving day one onto Xbox as well as Xbox Game Pass. In this newest entry though, you can expect a new playable main character this time, and there's a young ninja prodigy called Yakumo. Although there will be previous protagonists as well from the early entries that will appear, and I know there's some fan favourites as well. If you are wondering though, this one is a direct sequel to Ninja Gaiden 3 we saw years ago, but as you may have seen, this one is set way further in the future and a very distinct and awesome looking version of Tokyo. I cannot wait to hack and slash my way there, and I hope you'll join me later when it launches this fall. Frostpunk 2 is finally making its way to console this summer after its very lengthy spell over on PC. This one though is set 30 years after the original, and we will have to lead a desperate society in a frozen world where managing dwindling resources and keeping people alive is tougher than ever before. This sequel though actually introduced rival factions, really allowing players to negotiate, form alliances, or crush their opposition. 11-Bit Studios has also confirmed that a major update on May the 8th will tweak city building mechanics and improve citizen AI behaviors. The game has also had some superb reviews from critics and gamers alike since its launch over on PC, so no doubt Frostpunk 2 is set to be one of the biggest survival strategy games on Xbox Game Pass when it launches sometime in summer this year. Now, Wuchang Fallen Feathers has been mentioned on this channel quite often, and I'm so happy to mention that they got a release date trailer over the past couple of weeks, and it's coming day one onto Xbox Game Pass on the 24th of July. If you're unfamiliar with this one though, it's essentially a Souls-like that casts us as Wuchang, a mysterious warrior afflicted by a horrific feather disease. It has very much been described as a beautifully haunting hardcore action RPG, and to me it really gives me similar vibes to Wolong, which was on Xbox Game Pass a couple of years ago. Surprisingly enough though, this game is actually being made by a team of only 5 core members, and from early previews so far, it looks as though they've hit the nail on the head, especially with that Souls-like formula. Visually, it looks encapsulating, and the devs have said that they've made a hub-based exploration system, so we can now go in multiple different directions, creating such a varied experience. Now, Hollow Knight Silksong is the highly anticipated sequel to the critically acclaimed Hollow Knight, and at this point we've been waiting so many months if not years for some news about this newest entry. In this one though, you'll be able to explore a vast beautiful world filled with deadly enemies and hidden secrets. This time though, it features a new playable character called Hornet, who's a new protagonist with brand new abilities and combat skills. The game will feature, of course, its challenging combat, its intricate platforming, and deep lore that expands that brilliant Hollow Knight universe that we know and love. The devs have promised Silksong to be an epic Metroidvania experience that fans will really love, and honestly, I can't wait to delve into the darkness and uncover the mysteries of this enchanted world. Again, this one is also coming day one onto Xbox Game Pass, so no doubt we'll hear more at the Xbox Showcase this June. Roll out the bloody red carpet, because Dying Light: The Beast is set to welcome Kyle Crane back to our screens for the first time since 2015. The first-person upcoming horror game was unveiled by developer Techland as the explosive direct sequel to 2015's Dying Light and 2022's Dying Light 2, presenting a more tighter, more narrative-focused experience than we've ever seen before. Don't worry though if you're thinking that this is going to be a different experience, as The Beast will still feature the satisfying combat challenges the series is known for, as well as the dynamic day and night cycle that crowned the first Dying Light as one of the best zombie games ever made. Building on one of the best horror games ever made, The Beast is set 13 years after Kyle Crane's first adventure in Dying Light 1. We will get to reunite with the hero following more than a decade of cruel experimentation at the hand of the militia, hell-bent on weaponizing the zombie virus that decimated the city of Haran. I can't wait to dive into this new Dying Light experience, and we do have a release window of the second half of 2025. Now, one game that I thought was only coming to PlayStation, but is actually coming to Xbox as a day one title as well, is called Hell Is Us. This is actually a brand new action-adventure game that's running on UE5, and actually came to us from Studio Rogue Factor, and headed up by the game's creative director, who previously worked at Square Enix and was working on Deus Ex. This game though gives me serious Death Stranding vibes in the best way possible. Everything from the environment style to the very strange tone and weird looking enemy types looks utterly insane. That influence will also carry over to the gameplay as well, as the developer has said that we'll be guided by our feelings and our instincts rather than traditional quest design and markers. To be honest, I still can't get over the absolute beauty of this game from what we've seen so far, and from a few previews back in September, it said the game is one to watch and is a distinctive sci-fi action adventure with some very tense melee combat. One game that is for all of you out there who like survival games mixed with something more psychological is none other than The Alters, and we finally have a release date for this brand new IP after the last couple of delays, and it's coming day one onto Xbox Game Pass this June. Essentially in this one, your character does have the unique ability to create their own alters, which are basically alternate versions of themselves, each embodying a different life path. These alters, of course, as you can imagine, do bring distinct skills and perspective to your overall team, helping you solve puzzles, gather resources, and overcome some environmental hazards and escape the planet. Obviously, there is a cost to doing so here. The more that you do rely on your alternate versions, the greater the psychological strain on your very own character. It looks utterly fantastic from gameplay and previews so far, and I'm really hoping that extra time has really polished it into a great AA experience. Speaking of great experiences, if you're enjoying today's video, please hit that thumbs up button down below and do subscribe for more Xbox content every single day. At the moment, over 74% of you are not subscribed, and I'd love for you to join the fastest growing Xbox community here on YouTube. I do cover everything from Xbox news, reviews, updates, and so much more within the realm of Team Green. Thank you so much for the continued support so far, and let's dive right back into the remaining games. Fans of the atmospheric horror series can finally mark their calendars for the highly anticipated arrival of the latest installment in this next franchise. Little Nightmares 3 will still be released in 2025 for all Xbox consoles, and personally I cannot wait as I absolutely adore this franchise. Unlike previous games though, Little Nightmares 3 is actually being developed by a new developer called Supermassive Games, and they're known for their expertise in the horror genre, and it'll be very interesting to see if they hit the same high notes as the previous two. This time around though, players will actually control two new characters called Low and Alone. These two children do find themselves trapped in what's called the Spiral, a mysterious and fragmented world filled with lurking horrors. This is also the first time that the series is playable in online co-op, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially as this has always been predominantly a solo experience. Even though I personally never played the original, Gothic Remake has really impressed me every time it's been showcased since its reveal in 2020. From visuals to gameplay, Gothic appears to be exactly what I want from an RPG, that being layered, intricately detailed and reactive, but not broadening its horizons more than it needs to. This one though is built with Unreal Engine 5, and the dev team have worked very hard to make Valley of the Mines a setting that felt truly alive, with a slew of diverse NPC routines and possible reactions to make your own experience with the remake feeling totally unique to you. A bump up in visuals though isn't the only change made with the remake. There's new methods of traversal here, like swimming and free climbing, that have been introduced as well, alongside a more modern combat system that still keeps that slow and tactical style that Gothic was known for. Honestly, I can't wait for this one, but we still only have a release window of 2025, so hopefully we get a narrowed down and a fixed date very soon. Crimson Desert is another title that, to be honest, got everyone talking, and it is coming out towards the back end of this year. Originally envisioned as a spin-off from Black Desert Online, this game has actually evolved into a fully fledged single-player RPG that's really aiming to redefine this genre. On your screen now, as you can see, this is set in a vast, war-torn world, and Crimson Desert is looking to offer a rich narrative-driven experience by a complex cast of characters, but to be honest, it's the combat that's really looking to set it apart. Unlike The Witcher 3, which had some combat limitations, Crimson Desert promises a more flexible and dynamic system here. You'll basically be able to engage in brutal sword fights, execute some powerful finishing moves, and even use the environment to your advantage when tackling some massive world bosses. The game also features some truly stunning visuals, with massive open world environments that are teeming with brilliant life. If you're a fan of RPGs with tons of deep immersive combat systems and a great single player adventure, then Crimson Desert should be at the top of your list for 2025. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is officially rolling onto Xbox this summer, bringing a fully rebuilt experience of two of the most beloved skating games ever made. This remastered collection though actually features all of the iconic levels, skaters and tricks from the original game, while modernising them with stunning visuals, smoother controls and new gameplay mechanics. Of course, the multiplayer experience has been expanded with cross-platform support this time for up to 8 players, and the Creator Park and Creator Skater tools have been enhanced for even greater customization. The original soundtrack does return, featuring classic hits alongside some brand new tracks which I cannot wait to listen to. This one's also coming to Xbox Game Pass, so it's well worth diving into if you're a long-time fan or a newcomer, and to be honest, it really is shaping up to be the ultimate skateboarding experience. MindsEye is a very interesting one coming out this June, and that's because it's coming from a former GTA producer called Leslie Benzies. This project seems to be a part of the wider shared platform though, called Everywhere. This game is a third-person narrative-driven action game, which the devs are actually describing as GTA meets Cyberpunk, and to be honest, I'm still pretty mixed on the gameplay and previews that we've seen so far. As a brief overview though, we will take on the role of Jacob Diaz, an ex-elite soldier fitted with the MindsEye neural implant, which is haunting him with disjointed visions of his past and a covert mission which changed his life. We will essentially have to fight to uncover the truth in a world overrun by greed and military power. There also does seem to be a ton of cinematic flair here, with lots of set pieces to have our jaw dropping again, but then again, something does seem a bit off to me in the gameplay. We will have to wait and see how this one plays though when it drops on the Xbox this June. Next up, we have Moonlighter 2 The Endless Vault, and it is arriving sometime this year on both the Xbox Series X and S consoles and also day one into Xbox Game Pass. As the sequel to the beloved action RPG, this title is looking to reinvent the life of an adventurer/merchant with a stunning full 3D isometric look. This one though is set in the quaint village of Tresna, and you'll basically be balancing the thrill of dungeon crawling and the intricacies of running your own shop, as we saw in the first entry. We have everything here, from exploring challenging dungeons filled with tons of relics, to also managing an ever-evolving inventory of weapons, gear, and mystical items. Of course though, there looks to be an enriched formula here with Moonlighter 2, that being enhanced new mechanics, some more diverse biomes, and some great refined combat systems. Whether you're a veteran fan or a newcomer, that blend of commerce and adventure in this endless vault promises a dynamic, engaging experience that will keep us coming back for so much more. Then we have Lost in Random The Eternal Die, and this one is actually an upcoming roguelike action-adventure game that takes place in the bizarre and ever-changing world of Random. The developers have actually described this newest journey through dark, unpredictable realms where a living die holds the power to shape your destiny. This sequel though is looking to dive deeper into that universe of Random, introducing us with new challenges and surprises and a world where the environment and situations shift with every step. You'll be accompanied again by Fortune, a sentient die that plays a crucial role in both the story and the gameplay, and she'll explore the chaotic landscapes of Random. The world is designed to be visually striking, filled with tons of unexpected twists, where every roll of the die can open new paths or present some brand new dangers. So, strategy and luck are equally important as players navigate this unpredictable world, and I cannot wait to see where they take the sequel when it arrives later this year. What single player game are you looking forward to? Let me know down below. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Xbox content like this every single day. A very big shout out as well to our channel members for your continued support, and if you want to become a member to get videos early, exclusive emotes, shout outs, and so much more, then click that join button down below. Whilst here though, why don't you check out the video on screen now as I covered the top 10 best Xbox games of 2025 so far.